Hello, this is AHA, Agentic Healthcare Assistant. This is one of my capstone projects from my work in applied generative AI specialization program with Purdue University online. And I'm David Fliesen. I'm going to show you this. I wanted to basically show you an idea when it comes to working with some of these siloed information areas that we have in medical. And it also similar in other types of business as well. But a lot of times the patients in this case and the doctors can't get to the level of information they need to, whether that's being able to schedule or cancel or reschedule an appointment or being able to get to their healthcare information, being able to tell what their conditions are and what things they can do for them. So what I'm going to do with this with AHA is I'm going to basically break down those stovepipes, improving the continuity of care and making healthcare information more proactive and accessible. So let me show you what it looks like here. So this is AHA. I put this together with Python in a Jupyter notebook on Google Colab, so it all runs basically without any need for installation. It has different doctors and patients and administrators roles that can go. I'm going to go in as David Thompson, and I'm going to go ahead and log in. And as you can see here, we are in an area where we can chat with our chatbot here. So this is Angel, and she's a DID avatar. And she has the information about the
Hi,
company
I
uploaded as
am
well.
Angel. How can I help you?
Hi, Angel. I'm David Thompson. Can you tell me a little bit about what my current conditions are?
Hello, David. Your record shows you are managing type 2 diabetes mellitus. You recently reported increased thirst and urination, and your plan includes an increased metformin dosage, lab tests, and a nutritionist follow-up. This is for reference only. Please consult a healthcare professional. Would you like more details or help with appointments?
Okay, so this is Angel. I've created the avatar and uploaded the data, the same data that's used for this. I've also uploaded to the avatar separately. Basically, there's a 80,000 character limit for it, but it allows me to input the data into the avatar itself. I'll show you what that looks like. We're going to be going through it in the process a little bit here, but I got it to spit out this so it would be within the 80,000 character limit. And this gives you information sorted in a way that's most useful for the avatar so that it can talk about things intelligently. Let me get back to Angel. And you can see here too, it's a multimodal approach. So not only do I have the ability to talk to her on voice, but also via text. Because remember, not everyone is going to be able to use voice. They might have a speech impediment, or maybe they can't speak. They could be mute and or deaf even. So they might need to read it in text or do their input in text. So having both options for input and output are quite useful. Let me turn this back on. I have a friend that has Down syndrome. Can you give me a little information about that?
Down syndrome is a genetic condition caused by an extra copy of chromosome 21. It leads to developmental delays, characteristic facial features, and may affect cognitive abilities and health. Supportive therapies and medical care help improve quality of life. This is for reference only. Please consult a healthcare professional. Would you like information about treatments or support options?
No, thank you very much. So the other areas I have in here, you can see we did the chat. This is appointments. And so I can see I can see what appointments I currently have. Let's see. Shows I have none. I thought I had some scheduled. Let's check availability. So I want to get a appointment with my general physician. Um, that's Dr. Priya Sharma. And I can see here what appointment times that person has. I'll take this one here and I'll confirm the booking. An appointment's been made. If I go to the second tab here and refresh my appointments, you can see it's now there. If I wanted to cancel it or reschedule, I can cancel on this side, or if I wanted to reschedule, I can pick a different time and confirm reschedule. Go back here to my appointments and refresh, and you can see it just changed to the new date and time. So that's making it easy, for you to be able to get to your appointments, tell when your appointments are, who they're with, where they're located. I think that's really important to make things very accessible. The next one I have here is the medical search area. So let's say I needed to find out about something. Let's say NSAIDs, okay? That's always a very big one, if I can remember how to spell it. Um, so NSAIDs are very easy to accidentally take two of them together, and there are certain health risks with that. So you need to make sure that if you're taking ibuprofen, you're not taking other NSAIDs at the same time. So this gives you information on that. Patient history, you can see, I'll refresh this to make sure it's the latest. This gives you my patient history. And if I need to make it bigger, I can do Control Plus, or I could add a tool on here to do that. But there you can see what my condition is for David Thompson. Let me set this back to normal. And then at the very bottom here, I have an about section. This just shows for the demo as I'm doing this what the capabilities are that we demonstrated, that I demonstrated rather, the appointment bookings, the canceling, the patient records, medical history, avatar chat, and what technology stack I'm using. And I'll show you that in a little bit here too. These are the sample patients. So we have a total of 4 patients there. I think it was six, one, two, yeah, 6 doctors, and what each of them, where they're located in their specialties. And then these are all the logins that we had for the system as well. So that just gives you a demonstration of it. And let me show you what's under the hood that does this. But before I do that, let me do one other thing. I'm going to show you a real quick walkthrough. This is the to show you a little bit about the architecture. So so again, this is AHA, which is the Agentic Healthcare Assistant. And it has basically 3 layers to it. There's a presentation layer, as you can see here, an agent layer, and a data and knowledge layer. All right, and we'll be getting into what each of these are in a little bit. I'm just giving you a quick overview. This is the technology stack, what I'm using for my LLMs, which are large language models. In this case, it's Grok Llama Versatile. That's the 3.370B. I'm using the agent for LangGraph React, which basically coordinates it and kind of organizes things for you. I'm using a all mini LM for my embeddings. That's with Hugging Face. Face, that's from Facebook. It basically helps you go through data quickly through the chunks and find things for retrieval. My avatars are using ones called DID agents, and these are basically voice with lip sync. I created Angel's image and uploaded that, and then that became what you see on there. And then, let me go back over here so you can see everything without my camera in the way. Just noticed. Um, and then Streamlit is basically the thing that is taking my Python script and turning it into a user interface. So it's a very quick, easy way to turn it into something that you can use as a web app. And then ngrok is a tunnel for demonstration like this for me to easily put it up onto a web tunnel and be able to deliver it to you that way, basically by it just running right out of my Jupyter Notebooks file for my Python. And then Google Drive is where I'm storing things for this. And then DuckDuckGo and Wikipedia. DuckDuckGo, this is for the medical searches. DuckDuckGo is pretty good as far as uh, uh, protecting the privacy of your data. And Wikipedia just has a very good um, overall base of knowledge on most topics in the world. So it's pretty good to work with for this for the demo. We could put something of your own tools in here instead. These are just representations. So then that gives you some information on it here. As you can see, it's on Colab, so it's a free tier. Let's see, capabilities and data flow. So like I said, appointments, patient records, as you saw, medical history that's done through RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation, and then we have the medical information, which I just talked about. We have three types of role-based access for the model. So if you're a patient, you can only look at stuff for that patient. If you're a doctor, you can look at things for your patients, but not other doctors' patients. If you're an administrator, you have rights to see everything. And then finally on security, you can see here the APIs. I'll show you in a minute here as we go through the actual what's under the hood. The API keys are stored in Google Colab, which is really nice so that people don't have access to your things. They'll be stored in the secrets area. DID client key is stored in there as well, as is the ngrok tunnels, API information. There's no double booking, so if there's multiple patients with the same um, name, it looks at it and it compares. And in this case, we had three of them that were exactly identical, so it merged them for us. And then deduplication. Um, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. So that's the deduplication. No double booking. It won't allow you to book a time at the same time as somebody else or for a doctor to be booked for more than one patient at a time. And this shows the deployment pipeline, which I'll show you as we go through it. All right, let's get back to it. Let's see here. So basically, I'm running this out of the Google Colab. I have a single Python file. It's a Jupyter Notebooks version of Python files. And in here, I like it because the tabs really give to show me everything and I can walk through it step by step for you. You have keys and you can set the keys to active notebook access. So you can see the ones that are on blue so that it won't have to ask you about it and makes it more assured that it's actually going to go through and do everything. So at the very front of this, I just kind of go over the things that we've been talking about as far as what technologies are being used, what capabilities it's bringing, um, what the different roles are, and how this is executed, and what the secrets are. As you can see here, it's the Grok's API, ngrok, which is the one for the tunnel to serve it up, and then the DID avatars. So I'm going to go over here to my table of contents, and we'll just walk through these things one at a time. So I have a total of 9 steps. With step 1, it's basically installing dependencies. So anything I need this to run, it's basically going to do it here. And I'll go down to 2 and come up a little bit. And you can see at the end of it, I have it print things out so that you can see what's all been installed. So we got lang chain for the core, lang chain hugging face, lang graph face, and also the sentence transformers, PDF and Excel, and search and miscellaneous. So then our second part here is configuration and data initialization. Now, part of this is I'm running this on my Google Drive. So as it's running this on the Google Drive, it actually has to initialize that it's on that drive, and I have to give it access so that it can run things. So, and that way, like if there's things that I crunch the numbers, if I turn things into vectors and stored them, I'd be able to use it again instead of having to rebuild that data over and over again each time. So we can see here, if I go down to the bottom of it, it established these paths that we have here, and it says that there were 4 PDFs in the reports, no duplicates found, 5 patients on file, found the logo, the PDFs are ready for RAG, and records, the Excel file is ready. So now we go to step 3, which is defining all the agent tools. So you're gonna have these things like, let's say if you're working in a shop and you have a team of like, let's say 7 people that are working for you. They go out and they do things for you. Those are basically, when it comes to AI, called agents. And each of those agents might need to use certain tools. So if you have somebody that's doing a lot of calculations, you might give them a calculator. Well, it's similar with this. You're gonna provide agents to you're gonna provide tools to different agents depending on what they need. So in this case, they might need to be able to check the doctor's availability, book appointments, things like that, check the patient's records. That's all things where the tools would be helpful. So this is we have a total of 10 tools that we're providing. I'll show you what those are at the bottom here. I think it shows the Yeah, so the check doctor availability, book appointments, you can see them all right there. Next one we have is the RAG pipeline. That's step 4. So this loads the PDFs for the clinical reports and it builds the face vector store. So Facebook's got this thing. It basically allows you to crunch these things down into chunks that are put out there in 3D space in X, Y, Z coordinate, and that's what the RAG is doing is building a pipeline for that, for you to quickly access and search for things, and that's where the face comes in. It also downloads the embedding model on the first run. Let's see, go down to the bottom here and see what is at the bottom of it. And you can see here it's building these things out, the JSON files and such for it. And then we get to step 5. This is the LangGraph React agent. Creates the orchestration that routes requests to the right tools. So you got the tools and you got the agents, but you have to make sure they're connected together. And that's what the LangGraph is doing here. It's orchestrating it all for you. Let's see, go back up. So you can see here the AHA agent initialization. Everything looks like it went through okay. Okay, and then step 6, here we're writing AHA app to disk. So this is actually writing the files for us for the AHA app Python. And go down to 7 and come up and see what it's. So we're actually seeing here the different elements being scripted out. This, for example, that last page where I showed you what the capabilities were, the about section. In fact, I can go back to it here if you want. So this section right here with the about AHA, this actually shows you um, about AHA page. This is the about page, and it's going through and it's showing you who the doctors are, who the patients are, what login accounts you have, and it's all listed in there. So that's basically building this out. All right, so now we have step 7. So this builds Angel's knowledge base. So if you go back here again, go back to our chat. So remember, this is Angel down here, and Angel has a database inside of her. Basically, I took the data from this portal that I'd put together. Once,
Hi, I am Angel. How can I help you?
okay, I just muted myself so she won't be replying to everything I say. But this is Angel, and I went into the avatars I have for DID, and I uploaded my information. Now it has a 80,000 character limit to it, so I had it spit it out for me, and that was where I came up with this one. I think I showed you earlier, but I had to take the data that we're using for this whole thing and basically put it into an 80,000 character or less version of it so that I could drop this into that avatar so that she'd be able to intelligently speak on things. And with this you can, it's 80,000 characters, but you can upload multiple documents, so you could split this up between different things. And I'm reaching out to them too to find out about things like if you want to use this behind a firewall or on a closed system, or if you want to maintain all of the personal data on your side and not have it in the avatar, to see what the options are for that. So I'm going to log out of this one here real quick. As you can see here, like I can also log in as administrator. And administrator has access to everything. Of course, it warns me on my first time logging in that I gotta change my information. So I'd be able to look at all the patient's records. Uh, as you can see here, all patients, load all patients. And there I can see what all the patients' names are, their phone numbers and such. And that's for the administrator. Log back out of there. Um, So this basically, when I run this section, now you don't have to run it every time. It's just you run it when you have new data that you need to input into it. But let me come down to step 8 and I'll come back up. And it saves it in 3 places so you can quickly get to it. Like in Colab, I can come here to my folder and I have one here called AHA Agents Knowledge, and I can download that. And that's that file I just showed you. So let's go back to table contents, go to step 8. And then here we launch the AHA via ngrok. So ngrok is basically creating a tunnel for me so that when I want to be able to see this, I can run it on my computer, or I could share that with somebody else and they could be able to use it securely. Um, so that's what the ngrok is using, and it's also a tokenized system. So I pay for so much for it to have so many tokens to use for so much time. The other thing I found with this is, I'll show you at the very bottom here, it gives me a little green button when it's all done, says open AHA. I found with ngrok at times, especially if you don't close the tunnel out, it will have problems that it can't start because the tunnel's already open. So I've done a couple things for that. I have it stop it as soon as it starts step 8 before it launches it. Um, but then if that doesn't work, I can always come down here and hit this one, step 9, to shut down AHA. So now that I shut this down, this site here, you wouldn't be able to log in on. As you can see, it has a connection error because it is no longer actually connected to the internet, or it's no longer functional. So I have that, and then if that doesn't work and I come back and try to run it again, I need to go to ngrok's site and make sure that all the streams are closed down. So that's what it looks like, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm just thinking, you know, things that will make information easier for folks to get to. We have a tendency to stovepipe things as they develop over time, and it's nice to be able to have ways to use artificial intelligence to help us leverage that. And the other thing with that is agentic architecture. So with agents, you can have them go out, and your best bet is to set up your agents so they do one task and they do it very well, and you give them the tools that they need. So I hope that helps. And if you're interested in having me develop something for you or coming to work for you, please reach out to me. Usually over LinkedIn is the best way. And thanks for watching, and take care.